had to make me do it, Bushi. You had to make me play it out. Yeah, I'm Jack. Coco's somewhere. Point is, Bushiroad has posted a little update to their Turn 1 Refresh Challenge, which they posted a week ago. They asked players at home to entertain themselves and Bushiroad by seeing if they could refresh their deck on Turn 1 by playing a normal 50-card legal-to-play-in-tournament deck that was shuffled up without hitting level 2, and of course without an opponent, just goldfishing at home. No problem. So I did a video on this. I did a video response to Bushi on how this was possible and what kind of decks you could make to play it out. And you should check that out. It's going to be in the description. But Bushiroad updated this challenge. They said, now it's a contest. Now you got to film yourself doing it. Now you have to show all 50 cards that are in the flame constantly, and you only have 5 minutes to do it, and it's got to be physical cards, not that stuff I've been doing online. So what Bushiroad is going to make me do is rip up all my Fate decks so I can grab these cards. Look at all these decks I had to kind of tear apart. Well, not really tear apart, but still, this is a big pain in the ass. I mean, come on. Oh, man. Didn't want to do it, but I got to do it. So, like I said, Bushiroad has updated the challenge to a contest. By the way, Bushiroad, for those of you watching from the actual company, I will timestamp on the first line of the description where the challenge actually starts, so you don't have to listen to me rambling about my deck to players at home, because this video is not just for Bushiroad, this is for the players at home as well. Because for the players that did check out my video originally for the challenge, you'll see this deck is slightly different than the one I'm using online. That's because I don't own all the online cards physically. I mean, I own pretty close to them, but not as close. In fact, I spent a lot of time digging through my commons and uncommons for another Great Magic Caster, another Flames of Purgatory. Did not realize I only owned 3 Single Commence Battle Ilya. It's a bit disconcerting. I really thought I had 4 in my Ilya Berserker deck, but I guess I did not. Interesting. But that's beside the point. The point is, we've made some improvements on the deck to make it a little more consistent for the physical shuffling and everything. Not that it would be statistically different if I actually played it out, but you know, there's always room for improvement. And when I'm paging through my commons and uncommons like I was trying to find these different events and stuff, I did stumble across some new and cool cards for this challenge. Now, speaking of the challenge, when Bushiroad updated this challenge to a contest, they actually issued some statements on the difficulties, because one of the caveats of the original challenge was that you could use stock, but the less you used, the more difficult it was. Obviously, with stock, you can brainstorm, you can pay for abilities, it makes things a lot easier. With like 5 stock and a few brainstorms and like just a few card millers, you're just done. You can pretty much do it with any deck, so long as you get a good opening hand. But the less stock you use, the more restricted it is. So their difficulty levels now are starting with 5 stock is easy, starting with 3 stock is medium, and starting with 1 stock is hard. And they will have standings posted, well, soon I hope, actually, because we're getting to that point where it's going to be a week out. And we'll see who has refreshed their deck with as little stock as possible on the hardest difficulty. Well, that's not good enough. I already proved this. I can refresh my deck turn 1 with no stock. With this deck. And that's why it looks so weird. That's why there are no level 2 cards. That's why everything is strange, a mix of red and blue with 11 events, 8 clock encore level 0s, odd casters, a vanilla archer, and some weird assassin from Heaven's Feel, who knows. And no climaxes. There is no reason to play climaxes in a deck that is designed to refresh on turn 1, because that's exactly what this deck is supposed to do. It's supposed to refresh on turn 1. Let me tell you how we accomplish this. So obviously, you want to mill out your deck. That's the point. Effects that mill out your deck usually cost cards from hand. You only have 7 to start once you've drawn and clocked for your turn, because it's only 1 turn. So, how do you mill out the maximum amount of cards from your deck to getting the entire 50 or 40 or how many you have left without running out of hand size? Because with no stock, you can't actually increase your hand size. It's virtually impossible in Fate. I have not found a way, honestly. If someone knows a way to increase your hand size without stock in Fate at level 0 or level 1, please tell me. Because I searched exhaustively. best thing you can do is go for parity. These events are great for that. That's why we run 11 of them, 12 if I had my say. But we have 11, that's good enough. Each of these events, go out of bulk and encounter on a rainy day, search for a red and a blue character respectively. They mill the top 4 cards off your deck and they cost nothing to play. So they're hand parity, you get to mill 4 without losing hand size. Flames of Purgatory is hand neutral as well. It searches 2 cards out of your deck, Master and a Servant, goes to your clock, and then you discard 1. Lets you hand filter, lets you get what you need, it's nice. The rest of the deck is a little more interesting. We've got 8 clock encores. This is very important because an interesting little interaction that you can make happen with these on the stage is that if a character has clock encore and it is played over another character which also has clock encore, you can loop them. So an important part of this deck is to put 12 cards from your deck into your clock at no cost to you. Because if you take 12, add the one you clocked before, you're at 13. 13 takes you to 1/6, so you're not level 2, so that's enough. And that's what we do with these. These Rins give clock encore to any Rins and Archers, and these Shiros give clock encore to any Masters. Now Rin is also a Master, which is very convenient for us. We also have plenty of Rins, and pretty much everything in the deck, except for Assassin and Archer, is a Master. But we play Archer and Assassin here because they're both blue and red targets. Assassin actually mills 2 when he comes in if you send him right to the waiting room and you play him. He has another effect to put his level 1 counterpart on the stage, but we don't care about that. He's just a play, sack, mill 2 for free, which is important. We have this Archer, which is a vanilla. He actually works with Offering Protection Rin, which was a combo I did not feature in the original deck. Offering Protection Rin is a 1/0 hand encore 4500, but if you put Battle Stance Archer from your hand in your waiting room, you can top check 4 for a Master or Servant, which turn these things into events. And if you can chain them, that's hand parity, which is really good for us. It adds consistency to the deck. Now let's talk about the rest of this. Silverthread Elgin lead Ilya. Blah. She's in the level 0 Akatsuki for Masters. Very self-explanatory. Great magic caster. She discard bonds for encounter on a rainy day. Important. Signal to commence battle Ilya. She's a blue character that top checks and you draw and discard just in case you're in a little trouble. It's an extra mill. Rule Breaker caster. At this point, I kind of ran out of cards that I found that could mill out my deck effectively while still giving me the consistency of staying in red and blue and staying with Master and Servant. Because caster is Master and Servant, so you can get her with Ilya, you can get her with Encounter on a Rainy Day, and you can get her with Offering Protection Rin. And she can also receive Clock Encore from Shiro. And last but not least, we have Shock Expression Rin. Nothing matters about this except when she comes in, you can put 3 into your waiting room. We have a one of just top checking Rin that's also a Brainstorm, but that's again to fill the deck slots. Honestly, if I had my way, again, like the deck would probably be 4 Flames of Purgatory, 4 Signal to Commence Battle, 4 Great Magic Caster, and I don't know what these 2 slots would be. I'd have to see what else is available, but this is what I could dig out of my commons and uncommons and decks, which again, not fun, but this is the stuff we do. Why are we doing this? Because the contest winner receives a $10 Google Play gift card from Bushi or iTunes, just putting that out there. You know what I can do with $10 on a Google Play gift card? I can buy $10 worth of a $12 pack of Saint Courts in Fate Grand Order. And yes, Fate Grand Order, it's the Fate mobile game for anyone who's not completely addicted to anything Fate related. And a pack of 18 Saint Courts will give me half of a roll to get nice units. The things we do. All right, so let's get down to business. Bushiroad has issued the following guidelines for this challenge. First, you need to keep all the cards visible at all times when you record your video for submission. Second, it must be a 50-card deck, legal construction. Obviously, we have that here. Third, you have 5 minutes to complete the challenge, excluding shuffling time. So, without further ado, let's get started. We have our 50 card deck here. Everything is nice and laid out. You to verify the deck list that it is a legal deck to play and it meets all requirements elsewise. So everything is in frame. Let's shuffle it up. Now I will be submitting this entry under 1 stock for the hard difficulty, but this is a 0 stock entry, just to be clear. You can perform this challenge with 0 stock, and I want to prove that to you now. It doesn't work all the time, but nothing does if you're going to go down to the hard difficulty. I guess you would call this ultra difficulty? Challenge mode? Don't know. Don't know what you would call a 0 stock entry necessarily, besides just a 0 stock entry. Okay. Riffle shuffle up, just to make sure everything is nice and fair. Do some pile shuffling in a random order so I'm not stacking any cards. Don't know where anything is going, so I'm not stacking the deck. In fact, just do that. Really hope none of these sleeves break. I don't have any replacements because this is a old set of sleeves that I just kind of had to dig out because I'm not double sleeving this deck, Bushi. I have to put these cards back in my regular Fate decks for when I can go out and play Weiss again. I'm hopeful that I can. I'm hopeful that I can. Okay, that's riffle shuffle, little over the hand shuffle, and we have a sufficiently randomized deck. Let's draw our 5. We're going to pitch everything but Collatebolg. This could work depending on what we draw. Let's start the challenge. Draw. Clock you. 1, 2. Okay, this could work. This could work. Let's see how we do. First, we're going to play Ilya. We're going to discard the Rin. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to take this Rin. She's a master. I'm going to play Shiro. Going to play Shock Expression Rin over Ilya. Both these are masters. They both have Clock Encore. When I declare my intent, Ilya goes to the waiting room. When she goes to the waiting room, I have to pay the cost to Clock Encore. I'm going to start performing a loop. I'm going to Clock Encore myself 13 times. Just kidding, 12 times, so I'll be a 1-6. Here's level 1. Level with Shock Expression Rin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ilya goes to the waiting room, mill 3 for the Rin. 1, 2, 3. Now the order which I did this should not matter. Nothing interacts with the waiting room except for a caster that grabs Encounter and Bond. Encounter and Rainy Day. Encounter and Bond is the blue climax. We're not worried about that. Let's play Collatebolg and really hope I find what I'm looking for. 1, 2, 3, 4. We did. Take Offering a Protection Rin. Offering Protection Rin, we'll play her. When we do, we can discard a Battle Stance Archer and top check 4 for a Master or Servant. Found all my Battle Stance Archers. I mean my Offering Protection Rin, so great easygoing Swordsman here. Do it again with Battle Stance Archer. Going to take Great Mad Caster to our hand, play her, pitch an Ilya, grab Encounter and Bond, and by Encounter and Bond I mean Encounter on a Rainy Day. Encounter Bond is the book climax that goes with the level 3 Herc and Ilya from set 2. Play Encounter and Bond, 1, 2, 3, 4. We found an Ilya. We're going to take that back to our hand. We're going to play the Ilya, pitch the Assassin, 1, 2, 3, and we have completed the challenge. 2 minutes, 43 seconds, and 43 hundredths of a second, I guess. All right, that'll do it, folks. Thanks for watching.